Is your guy Mr. Right, or is he just Mr. Right now? I'm going to give you 3 signs to determine if the guy that you are hanging out with is just Mr. Right now. I'm Joanna M. Cameron. I'm a licensed mental health therapist. I'm a life coach. I'm an author, a mom, a wife, and I'm also a flight attendant. I do all the things, and I love helping women to find and live their dream life. So let's jump right in with some signs that the guy you're hanging out with might just be Mr. Right now. The first thing to identify if he's Mr. Right is he consistent? You're going to want a guy who shows that he can be consistent over a period of time. Yeah, in the beginning, everybody's consistent. Everybody's doing the right thing. They're saying the right thing. They're showing up. They're calling. Does he continue to do those things after you all have hung out with each other a couple times? Is he consistently making the phone calls? Is he consistently checking up on you? Is he consistently coming around and making plans for you? That's going to be one of the key components to determine if this guy is Mr. Right or just Mr. Right now. Because if he stops being consistent, if he's just sporadic and only coming around when it's convenient for him, or he's constantly making up excuses as to why he can't be available to you, then he's not being very consistent. And why would a guy who really wants to spend time with you, who really wants to make something happen, who wants this thing to go further, why would he be so inconsistent? There's really no excuse for that. I don't care what it is that a guy tells you. If he tells you that he can't make time for you and he's not making time for you, it's just because he doesn't want to make time for you. Everyone, I don't care who it is, will make time for what they truly want, and they'll be consistent with it. So that's the first thing. How consistent is he? And if you're okay with the inconsistency, that's your choice, and that's perfectly fine. Just be mindful that this guy may not be Mr. Right, and only Mr. Right now. Another sign to determine if a guy is Mr. Right or Mr. Right now is, can you be yourself around this person? Do you feel like you have to put up a wall and that everything you do is unnatural because you're gauging every action that you take around this person? You want to be able to be relaxed. You want to be able to be yourself, and you don't want to feel like you have to put on a facade or a show to be with this person. If this person doesn't make you feel comfortable in being yourself, then you might want to think about that. If he criticizes the way you act or the way you talk or the way you do things, and he's not just open to allowing you to be your natural self, then he might not be Mr. Right, because you're going to want to be with somebody long term who doesn't criticize you for actions you take or things you like to do. If you're feeling like you have to adjust everything about yourself to please the person that you've been spending time with, then he's just Mr. Right now. He's definitely not Mr. Right. For example, if you're a fun, loving, silly person who likes to make jokes and play games, and he's really reserved and really rigid and frowns upon every little silly thing you do, he might not be the guy. And I say that because I'm so silly. I'm over 50, but I do silly things and I act silly and I have silly habits and silly behaviors. And my husband allows me to be my silly self. Now, he's not always silly with me, but he allows me to be that person. And if he was constantly criticizing that, or if it turned him off in any way and he felt put off by any of the silly things that I did on a regular basis, that would kind of make me go into a shell, and I really wouldn't appreciate or enjoy that. So I appreciate the fact that he allows me to be myself, whether it's silly or funny or make stupid jokes or say things that just don't make sense sometimes. He allows me to do that, and I feel free to express that side of myself when I'm with him. So that's what you want. You want somebody that gives you the freedom to be who you are without putting up any walls or barriers, and allows you to be your free self, whatever that looks like. So that's number 2. That's a sign that maybe he might not be Mr. Right, if your guy's doing that. And then another sign that a guy can give you that lets you know that he's just Mr. Right Now is you're just unsure about where you stand with this person. Like, you think things are good because sometimes he's consistent, but he never really wants to have the deeper conversations about the relationship. So it's kind of like you're just in limbo. You're not getting any solid answers. You don't really know if you're in a relationship with this guy, and you're just kind of oblivious to what's going on. He doesn't want to put a title on it. He's not initiating a title on anything that you have with him. And if you bring it up, it's like a don't touch topic. So you want to make sure that you're with somebody who has no problems in telling you exactly what they want and exactly what it's supposed to look like. Now, I'm talking about somebody who's been with somebody for a little while, but you're still just unsure. You've spent time with them. You've seen some of the consistencies because that's what drew you in to begin with. But then maybe it goes a little inconsistent. But then maybe it's really good and mostly good, but you're still unsure. You just have no idea where this relationship stands. You've tried to have the conversation, the deep conversations just aren't happening. This guy might not be Mr. Right. He may only be Mr. Right Now. So these are some of the signs that are going to let you know if this guy is the right guy for you, because you're going to want somebody who's consistent. You want somebody who allows you to be your natural self without any barriers. And you also want to be able to be sure that you can communicate and understand where this relationship is going. What is this relationship? Is it a relationship? If you can't even get a full conversation out of this person and get any type of direction on what direction are we going, where do we stand, what are we doing, what do we call this? If you're having to constantly reiterate those things and ask those questions, but you're not feeling like you're getting anywhere, he's not Mr. Right. He's only Mr. Right Now. So don't put yourself in that situation. Don't allow yourself to conform to giving in and minimizing your value and worth with someone because they don't want to commit to being Mr. Right. It's a choice. And if this person is just spending time with you because they're enjoying your time and presence for right now, and you're okay with that, then understand he's Mr. Right Now. So think about those things as you're moving forward and finding guys to hang out with, and you're exploring new relationships, you're meeting new people. Just make sure that you know, first off, what you're wanting out of this. If you're okay with him being Mr. Right Now, then be okay with that. But if you're looking for Mr. Right and he's not giving you what you say you want, then just know you have a choice, and it's up to you to move on to the next. All right, so I'm Joanna M. Cameron, and I truly appreciate you for watching this video. I'd like for you to subscribe to my channel and share the video if you know someone who could use this assistance. Thank you again for watching. Have a good day, and bye for now.